Hi guys! Kakauwi ko lang galing work and I really wanted to talk about this, so I thought I'd make a break time video. Total naman, I'm a game dev professor and ngayon kasi merong nangyayari na topic because na related to our field. I wanted to like go through that. Ayoko na kasi i-describe yung violence that happened in Tacloban recently. And I think everyone has heard about that. It was really gruesome. And I'm sorry to all the families that have been affected by it. And then, medyo nakaka-frustrate lang because of the way this kind of tragedy is being addressed. And now, naghahanap ng scapegoat. I think the way I think the discussion is going, naghahanap ng scapegoat yung mga tao, and ang nahanap nila ngayon na scapegoat is violent video games. Yun. So parang, gusto i-ban ng DILG yung violent video games, at least from the news that have been coming out. And then, ayun, I wanted to discuss that while I'm doing my dailies, so pwede nyo ako samahan while I'm discussing that. And incidentally, this is considered a violent video game. The original version of this game was released in 1997. I was in college. Yeah. Almost in college at that time. Pero nung nilalaro ko siya, in college na ako. So, it is considered a violent video game. Anyway, ayun, it feels like we're back in 1993 when US was discussing Mortal Kombat and how bad it was. Kaya na-invent yung ESRB ratings, by the way, kasi sobrang bad ng perception ng mga tao sa Mortal Kombat noon. And it's so violent daw na nakakayanig ang pagka-violent niya. So, people kept the government, and a lot of people were arguing using Albert Bandura social learning theory at that time. But just to give you a background, i-grind ko lang to kasi may dinidevelop ako na ano. Okay, just to give you a background, Albert Bandura created the social learning theory, or came up with a social learning theory when he experimented in 1961. Parang children watched adult people beat up an inflatable doll, and then eventually those kids actually started exhibiting the same violent behaviors when people were not looking, no? So, ayun, ang problem kasi nito, now, what I wanna do is use the same theory to debunk the argument. Kasi I feel like policymakers got it wrong, no? Ang ano nito kasi, yung the way they handled the Bobo doll experiment, it felt like may lack of agency, no? The Bobo doll experiment measured immediate short-term imitation of an adult role model in a sterile lab setting, okay? So, video games involve complex personal interactive agency. May choices, may rules, basically players know that they're inside a fictional simulation. It's not even reality, no? Ang gusto kong gamitin dito is the term Triadic Reciprocal Causation. So ano ba tong Triadic Reciprocal Causation na to? So, ang lawmakers, they look at the media violence through a very outdated linear lens. One, the environment, which is, sa tingin nila, video game yun. And two, behavior, the violence. Okay? They assume a simple one-way street where a game injects bad behavior straight into a passive player. Hindi. It doesn't work that way, no? So, using the very same theorist's argument, no, ang tingin ni Bandura is that human function is a lot more complex than this. No, behavior is not caused by a single factor. Meron siya tinatawag na continuous interlocking three-way interaction sa tatlong variables. One is behavioral factors. Oh my God, naano ko. Okay, behavioral factors. Yung actual actions, choices, and statements that the person makes. Meron ding, number 2, personal cognitive factors. So, internal states, beliefs, and expectations, psychiatric vulnerability, biology, gender, mga ganyan. Basically, how a person cognitively processes the world. And then, yung pangatlo, environmental factors, external surroundings, socio-economic status, family structure, ano ba yung meron sa bahay mo? May peer groups ka ba? And yes, of course, media, video games. Ganyan. So, ano yan? Sa madaling sabi, to summarize, behavior, mind, and the environment all shape each other. The environment is the heaviest anchor dito. Yan. A toxic home, in short, a toxic home breeds aggression. Hi, so, gusto ko lang i-discuss also some key points ni Bandura na, some might help other people understand, or I don't know, maybe just gamers are listening to me. So, merong mga concepts si Bandura. One is environmental primacy. Sa yon. So, ang argument using this, my anti-violence rebuttal, is that real abuse triggers real violence. No? Pangalawang concept, reciprocal determinism. Aggressive kids just seek violent video games. No, not really. Sometimes I'm just frustrated. Sometimes I'm just frustrated and I just need to pick up like this watermelon right here. Dito ko na nilalabas yung aggression ko. Diba? Meron din tinatawag na proximal models. Kay Albert Bandura din yon. What does it mean? Parents matter more than what you're seeing in this screen. And this watermelon. Nasa isip ng development kung nila to. And then, there's also the concept of abstract modeling. Players learn rules. In video games, players learn rules. So, where would you get the idea of doing actual, magtitegi ka ng mga bagay-bagay aside from, hindi naman kasi totoong tao tinitegi mo dito. In this case, watermelon. And then, we also have the concept of disengagement. We all know as gamers that this is all fictional. Right? So, yan lang naman ng basic argument ni Bandura na I feel like also debunks Bandura the way people would use Bandura. No? So, So, meron kang mga concepts na ganito, sana maiintindihan, no, ng mga taong gumagamit ng theory. So, ayun, again, yung Bobo experiment, nasa loob siya ng isang measured na environment, na may short-term imitation siya in a sterile lab setting. And then, I don't know, right now, ang sa tingin ko itong theory na to nag-rely heavily on environmental reinforcement and social context. Ang kailangan mong makita is real drivers of youth violence is that maybe sana hindi maging scapegoat ang game. Please look into family life. How did these kids get access to kasi lahat to, hindi mo nga mada-download yung mga games dito nang hindi ka dumadaan sa age verification Meron yan. So, ang natin dito, para sa akin magulang ang magbabantay. May patnubay talaga. Di ba may MP sa MPRCB nga, may patnubay ng mga magulang ay yun, ganon. So, also, lastly, correlation does not equal causation. I hope a lot of people remember this. Ang daming psychological studies linking games to aggression, na hindi porque nagkaroon ka ng mild short-term competitive frustration tapos mataas yung heart rate mo feel mo nang magtegi ng ibang tao. Wala din there's also lack of macro evidence over the last 30 years kasi video game consumption has exponentially increased worldwide, no? And yet, global youth violence rates have generally trended downwards or stayed tied to local socio-economic shifts. Hindi siya game sales. Boto ko na kaya to. So, yun lang naman ang gusto ko i-discuss. If we're gonna use a theory, can we use the entire all of the aspects involved in that theory. And anyway, thanks for listening to my rant and helping me, accompanying me while I grind. And maybe see you next video. Sana ma-resolve na to. Kasi medyo frustrating na hindi natapos ni GDA President yung presentation niya and nabitin kaming lahat. So, I hope talaga magkaroon ng maayos na resolution dito for everyone's sake. Okay? And again, thanks for listening. Bye!